Okay, we're fortunate. Okay, we've got it going. Okay, fantastic.
Great.
Thanks, Lisa. I'm guessing you arranged for that. So, let's please anyone feel free to ask your burning questions of Elaine. She's clearly a change maker in the world of women's empowerment. Jamil? You're on mute still, Jamil.
No, that was a powerful story. I'm sorry that there was some moments where some of the sound was a little bit. I don't know if anybody else heard it that way, but I had some difficulties with the sound. But no, there are some groups that I'm. There's one group in New York that I'm very interested in working with called Peace is Loud, and that's a group that focuses on women peace builders and empowering women to take an active role in promoting peace in their own countries. And I'm going to meet with them next week in New York. So, but no, I think it's wonderful. I mean, I've done a lot of work in development, and I think that there's one group in New York that I'm very interested in working with called Peace is Loud, and that's a group that focuses on women peace builders and empowering women to take an active role in promoting peace in their own countries. And I'm going to meet with them next week in New York. So, but no, I think it's wonderful. I mean, I've done a lot of work in development, and I think that there's one group in New York.
Can you put your mic on mute? We're getting reverb back from you. And put right in the chat the link, Peace is Loud, so that we can all visit that site and become familiar with it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It sounds like something I'd be interested in.
Sure. And meet with them next week in New York. So, no, I think it's wonderful. I mean, I've done a lot of work in development. I'm confused because I'm hearing a playback of everything I just said. But
can you put your mic on mute? We're getting reverb back from you. And put right in the chat the link, Peace is Loud, so that we can all visit that site and become familiar with it. Something. Right.
Thank you. It sounds like something I'd be interested in.
Sure.
If anybody has just done something recently new technology, maybe you can put yourself on when you're not.
Because I'm hearing a playback of everything I just said.
All right. Glenn, how about you? Any questions for Elaine? With loud, so that we can all get that site.
Thank you. It sounds like something I'd be interested in.
Sure.
Anybody has just done something recently new technology, maybe you can put yourself on when you're not.
I'm hearing a playback of everything I said.
All right. Glenn, how about you? Any questions for Elaine? So that we can all get that site.
Thank you. It sounds like something I'd be interested in.
Sure.
Anybody has just done something new technology, maybe you can put yourself on when you're not.
I'm hearing a playback of
So Okay, everybody. Thanks for whoever figured that out, and happy to have the sound corrected. Let's please say hello to Doug, who is the president of the South Hilo Rotary Club. We are so grateful for their support. We enjoyed a beautiful provisional celebration there in May and got busy to work, and by the end of June got all the boxes checked. Just in the nick of time, right, Steve? So Doug, tell us something about you, where you're calling in from, maybe something about South Hilo, and a moving moment. And it can include something that you heard just a moment ago from Elaine. Which,
Well,
by
hello
the way,
everyone.
gave me goosebumps.
Hopefully this will. Hello everyone. I'm in Hilo at the moment. I'm looking out at the at Hilo Bay from our house, where we will hopefully have DG Laura and her husband PDG John and PDG Phil for tomorrow, for next week's celebratory chartering ceremony, and we are very excited that we've had the opportunity to be part of the process that has led to We Rotary, and really excited about next week's ceremony, clearly. I thought a moving moment was listening to Elaine and her story. It's an amazing story, full of life, full of family, full of achievement, yes, but achievement that is wrapped in growth and love. And so, to me, that's very moving. And we have a friend that I wrote a little on the chat named Lonnie Leary, who is a friend of ours. Her husband was a Coast Guard admiral, a retired Coast Guard admiral. Now they live in Kaneohe on Oahu, and she has done work for many years on end-of-life with end-of-life situations. And she's written a book called No One Has to Die Alone, based on her experience with her parents. I think her mom died earlier, and then she went through it again with her dad, based on as a teenager, how she responded to her mom passing. And so, really interesting book, obviously, an experience. And frankly, it sounds like the two of you could get together and make the world even better than it is. So, anyway, thanks for letting me say a few words, Kat, and I will turn it back over to you guys.
Thanks very much, Doug.
Thank you.
Let's see. Well, we have just a few minutes left. If there's any other questions that you might have for Elaine, this would be the moment to ask them. If not, we'll turn to Rotary business for the last quarter of our meeting. So, anybody have anything that you'd like to ask of Elaine, since our audio is a little bit better now?
I'd like to say a few.
Go ahead, Steve.
Elaine, hearing your story, I felt that you were born a Rotarian because you live the principles of Rotary. And you'll meet so many people.
Oh, great.
Except you seem to have done so many things, it could be even 3 or 4 people that you'll meet who are doing equivalent work. We have a partner in a health rag that does a big project in Kenya called Kenya Smiles. They do health education. So again, we'll be introducing you to some, hearing your story, we'll really get along with. And also learn about a health fair in China. So as you get to know us, there'll be lots of opportunities to share stories. Maybe thanks for your talk.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and turn then to a couple of pieces. Eric, are you still with us?
up on all these things.
Could you repeat that, Elaine, please? Oh,
I just said thank you so much for all of these wonderful resources that people are sharing, and I indeed plan to follow up to get the books, the Kenya Smiles, all those contacts. Thank you.
Fantastic. So that's really a wonderful aspect about our members giving our talks. Because we're virtual, we don't really meet face-to-face very often. So for this year, we have our entire calendar filled with members giving talks about who you are and what you are already doing to make a difference in the world. And it's quite often that we find new people, new places, new resources, time, talent, and treasure that we can pour into projects we're already working on, and then also leverage the projects that we are invested in doing more good and scaling out into the world. Okay, so business part. Let's talk three things: benefits, budget, and dues. And seated beside me is Steve Yoshida, our treasurer. So we'll talk about, and it's quite often that we find new people, new places, new resources, time, talent, and treasure that we can pour into projects we're already working on. That we get to leverage the projects that we are invested in doing more good and scaling out in the world. Okay, so business part. Let's talk three things: benefits, budget, and dues.
I think the reason we're having reverb is because Glenn has two chat windows open. So it's playing in live and then it's playing again. So Glenn, if you could put yourself on mute, I think that would be helpful.
Time, talent, that we can work into projects we're already working on. That we get the projects that
your mouse over the window, you should get a little menu, and then you can use and mute the microphone.
Okay, so this is let's talk two things: benefits, budget, and dues.
I think the reason we're having reverb is because Glenn has two chat windows open. So it's playing in live and then it's playing again. So Glenn, if you could put yourself on mute, I think that would be helpful.
Thank you for your patience in figuring out the technology. We know that this is new for a lot of us. So I love the way that we're jumping in and supporting each other and teaching as we are doing it. So Steve, tell us about dues and the budget.
Well, this is the most boring subject, of course, so I'll try to be brief. I didn't want to send, I'm the treasurer of the club, and I'm not a very good treasurer, so we're trying to find somebody more detailed than I am, but I do see that Kat's done a budget, and we have not asked for any money to this point because we didn't know when and if we were going to get chartered, so that's behind us. We're chartered, and we'll have our ceremony next week. We're official. We have paid for all the members the $15 charter fee, and we have incurred expenses to get the website up and all the things that were necessary to get to this point. So at this point, we'd like to ask members to pay their dues. I'll be sending you invoice. It'll be $100 for the initiation fee plus another $120 for the first 6 months of dues. So we ask, some have already paid the initiation fee, but we ask for $220, and you can do that by credit card. We'll send you a link, and it's very easy to send that to our bank account. I also enclosed sort of a summary. Oh, I see. Here's the budget. We will send a copy of the budget to let you know that the dues are probably at this point not even covering our expenses, but we hope to get many more members. We hope to grow from here because everything is up and running. We'll send you that budget. and we'll send you a summary of some of our activities as an inducement to remain with us and continue to add to our club. I think we're reaching a point where we're getting to know each other and we're bonding, and we all want to contribute to a successful club. And the basics is to pay for some of the administrative costs. So we ask you to take a look at that, and if you can, pay by next week on the 5th is our celebration. That seems an appropriate time for everyone to get paid up. So I'll be sending that out to you today, and if you take a look at that, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve. And in the last few minutes that we have, part of putting the budget and the dues together, we wanted also to list what are the benefits of actually being a member of We Rotary. So let's close up today by asking everyone to just declare two things. One, a benefit that you personally see for being a part of We Rotary, and two, in what way would you additionally like to serve to have the club flourish? And those areas would be membership, service, being club or youth or international projects, marketing and engagement, programs, or club administration. We've made tremendous progress in a very short amount of time. This is the next level that we need to get to. It's important to me because as I go back on the march at the end of this month, I won't be able to carry this water any longer. So we need to have systems set up in place where all of the things that Steve and I have been meeting on Mondays with Steve, kind of like Tuesdays with Maury. I'm having Mondays with Steve and learning about Japanese cooking from Noko. Fish head soup rocks. So two things to check out today. One, a benefit for being a part of Rotary, and two, in which way would you additionally like to serve? Okay, let's go ahead and, Elaine, we'll leave you last, and we'll go ahead and start with, let's start with you, Lisa. You're on mute.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I can take on more than I'm doing right now, but I'm definitely serving as secretary right now and also the webmaster. And so I did just put in the chat box a link to there's descriptions of the committee positions. So if anybody's interested in kind of learning a little bit more about how each committee would function within the club and how vital it is to have everybody get on board and really make the club go. You know, I have to second what Kat's saying. You know, we definitely need everyone to kind of jump in and make this club happen. Personally, I'm getting a lot of enjoyment and finding really fascinating our speakers. When I was in the Fort Worth Rotary, the most interesting part of being in that Rotary Club was getting to meet people and hearing interesting speakers. And it's funny because you think you might lose some of that online, but I don't really feel like we are at all. I feel like I'm getting to know some really interesting people and hearing about all kinds of projects all over the world. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell. Don't forget to record your attendance. That's also in the chat box.
All right. Thanks, Lisa.
That's all I got.
For your work. Awesome. Okay, let's go to John and Laura.
Hi.
We can hear you, so a benefit. Oops, you're on mute right now. You just muted yourselves.
Oh, all right.
Here we go. Now I can hear you.
I was trying to talk and type at the same time. I was just sending a little shout out to Lisa from Naomi, our district secretary, who said thank you so much for helping with getting everything integrated. And she'll be happy to put all of the club officers in as soon as you've got names that you want her to put in each of the positions. So be sure to use her. That's absolutely fantastic. I, of course, would like for you to look at your schedule and get me on for one of those 20-minute talks sometime. That would be just great, you know, so probably September but you look and see what works best for you guys. That would be absolutely fantastic. And now that hi Doug, I've at least gotten to see all of you a little bit face to face. I hope that I'll be able to get on and say hello a lot more frequently as soon as I'm finished with the last, I've done 25 of the clubs already, so 25 more to go. So as soon as we're done with that, then all of a sudden Tuesdays at 2 o'clock will be a lot freer. And I'm happy, I'm proud of you guys. I am so glad that you got chartered on June 30th. Someone asked a question about whether you could send a check and what address to use. If you can get us that information. One of the traditions is that we usually ask clubs in the district to kick in a little something for a new club that's chartered. So I talked to Phil about whether he wanted to send that note out or whether he wanted me to, but we would like to be able to tell them at the time we send it out what address to send it to, and they probably do better with checks than with credit cards. So let us know that, and we'll be happy to help you any way we can.
Okay, new most moving moment right there, Laura. Thank you so much.
Send money, right?
John?
Yeah, well, I guess I'm kind of stuck in administration, so I'm glad to hear about the Monday meeting. So kind of looking to get as much Rotary in the Rotary meetings as possible. So I'm willing to give maybe a 2 or 3 minute, just something about Rotary on the meeting here, so we can talk about what is district conference, what is this, what is that. A lot of things. We talk about so many things in Rotary, we assume everyone's been here forever and ever, and that's not true. So I'll be glad to come and give short little snippets about various things, or simply ask questions, or answer questions. So I kind of stuck in administration, but that's what I'm supposed to be doing anyway. So let's go.
Thank you, John. All right, Jamil, you're on mute if you'd like to give us one benefit and one additional way to support the club. How do you want to play with us, Jamil?
Well, I've enjoyed very much meeting all the people, and for me, I am a newbie when it comes to Rotary, and it's been fun learning about Rotary and also connecting with some people right here in town. And I feel very comfortable being in a club that is devoted to peace, because that means a lot to me. And I haven't figured out which of the committees, you know, I should be part of. I don't, you know, I mean, none of us have a lot of time, but it's a challenge. But let's see. I guess let's see. I lost that thing, but maybe marketing and communications. But anyway, let me give it some more thought in terms of where I can best contribute. And but I'm delighted to be part of the club.
Super. Thank you so much, Jamil. Glenn, now would be a good time to unmute yourself. And also joining us today, we had from Argentina, Marianne is a designer. So I don't know if she's still able to say something about a benefit and how you'd like to be involved. And Marianne is working right now to design our logo. We have a light blue circle with a peace dove in it, which was Ian Hatch's original contribution, and you'll see that there in the third window. And so we're just looking to update that a little bit. All right, Glenn, I think we can hear you now.
I'm having real trouble hearing. Most of the presentation had background noise, and I have no idea where it was coming from. And somebody said something, I think, about me, or whether I could be causing it, but there was so much noise I couldn't understand. But I'll be glad to talk to somebody when this is over and see if what was going on.
Happy to, Glenn. Can you share with us one benefit that you see about being, because you sought us out, and so what is it that intrigues you about being involved with a virtual Rotary Club?
I wish I could tell you something succinctly. Mostly I'm looking. I hope that the technology from my end can get a lot better, because it was not particularly satisfying today. How do you do a fundraiser when you're an e-club with members all over the country and the world? I wonder. I don't know. It's hard enough doing it when it's a local club where everybody can get together and work on it. Generally, I think of a fundraiser as Rotarians getting out and doing something. In Durango, one of the things we always did every year was a 4th of July pancake breakfast at the Rotary Park. And we would serve breakfast to 800 or 900 people. So I don't know how you do that kind of thing in an e-club. I'd like to hear.
Okay, let me give suggestions from other e-clubs. What you do is you find a project that works for everyone, and you plan it out, and then you do the same thing in 6 different cities. If you want to feed the homeless, you work out a project and a timing and all the publicity, then you go out and do it. So you actually, it is coordinated online, everything's ready to go, and then you can do it simultaneously in various cities. And the results from that are fantastic. We did this in 6 different countries at the same time, so those that work out very well. It's not easy to do quickly, but it works very effectively.
And that's really great for on the projects and getting a sense of community and continuity. And you were talking about fundraisers, and I was thinking about that. And actually, one of the most effective fundraisers I've seen a nonprofit organization do this year was an online auction. So there's absolutely nothing that would stop you from doing something like that, which was absolutely, and it was great, and it was pretty simple for them, and they had an amazing amount of participation. This was from the Kona Hospital, and I could send Kat the information so she can disseminate it to everybody.
Thank you very much, Laura. That inherent in We Rotary is a continual process of asking questions about how can we do things in an innovative way, in a more sustainable way, in a more connected and caring way. So Steve has a couple of ideas about projects that we have already done and are intending to do globally. Along that line, one of our members, Mark Kimura, was curious about how we could create an immediate stream of funding for potential members that may not be as financially capable. So out of that question, we immediately pursued another one of We Rotarian members, Andrea Lowe, who's the founder of piggybacker.com. We've been developing a set of criteria for testing out 3 different projects from We Rotary that we would teach ourselves how to do crowdfunding and see if that's a viable pathway for our projects. We'll look at 3 different levels, and Jamil, we were thinking that you might be interested in being one of the beta testers, so let's follow up with that after this. But Steve went and visited with Andrea in San Francisco. We had a conference call, and I think that's moving forward in a good way. Does that answer sufficiently for you at this point, Glenn?
Yes, I keep turning my speaker off because there are telephone calls coming in here. Yes, it would. I look forward to speaking to someone directly.
Thank you very much. Okay, Lena, we do not have sound from you. Steve, would would you like to read what she has to say?
Well, I think Alina is wondering how she could get her sound to work, so we'll try to work with her on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. And Galina, if you'd like to just offer a benefit and how you'd like to play in the club on one of those working groups, that would be great. You can just type it in the chat and we'll make note of that. How about you, Elaine?
For me, I think clearly a benefit is this. So that's more than one benefit that I see right off the top. And also, in terms of what I would like to do in service, is I think my best fit would be either in membership or programs. I'm interested in programming.
Fantastic. All right. And Doug, you get the last word on benefits. We won't ask you to do any more as far as serving us at this point, rather than you and I and Steve will have a brief, let's hang on if we can, after the Google Plus Hangout, and just go over a more detailed plan of the chartering celebration next week, if that's okay.
Sure, that'd be fine. I would just make a comment that you all are breaking new ground. This is a new concept, particularly being an international group within one club. And so everything that you are doing is going to be new. And so have fun with it. Have your expectations with an understanding that this is new. Frustration is not allowed. And just, you know, things will work, and things that don't work, they don't work. And so as a new club and as a groundbreaking club, all those things are just terrific to begin with. So I think anything that you do from here on out is going to be terrific, and so you just take that how it comes. And that would be my comment.
Great. Thank you. Okay. So great meeting today, everybody. So August 5th, can I just see a show of hands who thinks that they'll be able to attend that, so we know to plan for bandwidth? If you could just raise your hand.
Attend how?
Who is that? I couldn't see who was saying that.
That was me. I was wondering, you're saying who can attend the meeting?
Mm-hmm. Virtually.
Oh, okay.
Keep breathing, Jamil. Okay, so that's wonderful. We'll have on-site, Jamil, we will have representing us will be Genesis Long will fly in from Honolulu, and also we're hoping to have Mark Kumura on site. So with that, everyone, have a wonderful week. Be thinking happy thoughts, because this chartering, we want to be a celebration. We are really, really honored to have so many dedicated leaders already celebrating what we're doing. So this is our chance to share it with the world. It will be recorded, and happy to have all of you with us. If you can't get on... Yep, go ahead.
Madam President, if I could just, even though the attendance may be virtual, I would imagine that everyone is encouraged to have non-virtual beverages available for toasting.
Good point. Thanks, Doug. Ever the entertainer. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Steve and I will stay on and work out details with Doug. Lisa, if you...
Stay on too. Yeah, okay. John will stay on too.
Okay, super. Thanks, everybody. And Genesis, if you're able to stop the recording so we don't give away all of our delicious secrets to the world before we actually record. our chartering celebration, that would be wonderful. So what we're doing right now, everyone, is just waiting for Galena and Elaine to leave, and then we'll ask Genesis to stop the recording. Bye, Tamil. Okay. Galena, are you able to drop off the call? You can't hear her. Ha ha ha, will do. Okay. Okay. Yep. All right. I'm going to go ahead and